I can never buy alcohol again because I can't show anybody my ID. It's too embarrassing. I wasn't feeling great when I went, but it just needed to be done.
Okay.
And, smiling never really works anyway. After I got it, I was like, oh my God, is that my face? And Shane goes, what happened? He's like, were you like this? Like, what? This doesn't even look like you.
But that's sometimes just pictures in general, like, and like passport pictures.
Oh my gosh. It looks like my passport photo looks like such a mugshot because they're like, don't smile. So I'm like, And then it looks like I'm mad. It's so bad.
Welcome to the Drew Crew. You're nodding. Thank you.
I'm agreeing with you.
Where we solve mysteries with inconsistencies.
Yes.
My name's Peter. I'm a librarian.
My name's Kelly. I'm a librarian.
Today, we're covering number 5. Mm-hmm. The Secret of Shadow Ranch.
Correct.
I just love the idea of Shadow Ranch.
I know.
It seems like it's like a mystery ingredient. Ooh, Shadow Ranch. There's Shadow Ranch on this burger.
I never thought about it that way. I just love they're out in the West just taking many, many horse rides constantly. And I'm not even sure why each of the rides happen, but we just keep going back and forth on our horses. There's
something we have to talk about, though.
Okay.
I've been kind of distant lately and kind of mean to you for the past couple days. But the reason is, I want to tell you right now, the reason is because I want you to go to square dance with me.
Oh my gosh.
But don't worry, if we win, the prize is a watermelon.
Yeah, and it's ice cold.
Ice cold watermelon.
Which makes it much better.
Yes.
Exactly. I know.
So consider
this is like kind of a study in male-female relationships. First you be mean to the girl, and then you're really nice.
Because then the payoff
is that watermelon.
So you have a little bit of history with this one, eh?
Yes. So there was a few things that were happening. First of all, we're introduced to a couple new characters.
Yes.
Bess Marvin and George Fane. At a certain point, too, as I was reading very early on, like page 3. Now, I don't know. You can tell me what your book says on page 3. They are sitting down, Nancy, Bess, and I believe George is there too. They're sitting down in a cafe, and Nancy puts her knitting bag. Shout out to knitting. Nancy knits apparently.
Yeah.
She places her knitting bag on the floor, and Bess says, "What are you making?" And then Nancy replies, in my book, "A sweater for Ned. I hope to have it done by the time he comes home." And then it continues and says, Ned Nickerson, Nancy's special friend, was taking summer courses at a European university. With him had gone Beth's favorite escort, Dave Evans, and George's friend, Bert Eddleton. I know a lot about Nancy Drew. I thought, wait a minute, there's a couple books on, in which we are introduced to Ned for the first time. Nancy has never met him before.
Okay.
I was like, wait, what's going on? So I did a little searching on the internet. And what I found was that when they revised this book, they must have revised a grouping of books at one time. There was a continuity error. So they must have revised this plus the one where she meets Ned. I don't know, without realizing like, oh, hey, we haven't met Ned yet in Shadow Ranch. So the earlier printings of the revised edition have her knitting a sweater for Ned, but in your book, yes, tell me what your book says.
Sweater for her dad.
Yeah.
But there also is a reference to Ned in this because they're going to the square dance to get that watermelon.
Okay.
And one of the girls says, "Hey, what about Ned?" I was thinking, what do you mean? We haven't even talked about him yet.
Right. Well, and
so it's very weird.
There's some editions where it's like Ned throughout. Then there's other editions where they changed Ned in the beginning to be her dad, but forgot to change him at the end of the book to dad. I know we actually meet Ned, I think 2 books on.
Okay.
Book 7, The Clue in the Diary, he's actually introduced and she meets him for the first time.
What I meant was you have a history with this book. In that
I went into this big long history about Ned, and you're like, that's not what I meant.
But your history, because I'm sure you read this book as a kiddo, but you also there was a video game adaptation.
Yeah, so there are a series of video games primarily for PC that came out in maybe the early 2000s, well, maybe mid to early 2000s. Most of the games are like original stories.
Okay.
But they did have a couple that they did as a video game, and one of them is The Secret of Shadow Ranch. I have not played it in a while, but there is some similarities in the mystery, the solution to the mystery, some of the things that they do in the book. So, for example, at a certain point in the book, they stop to make a cake. Big plot point.
Yep.
But in the game, you have to like make a cake. So like it's a game. It's a puzzle. It's a very probably fairly simple. I am not a video game player, so most people that play video games regularly would be like, "This is dumb and lame." But I like it.
I think this would be a good adaptation of a video game. It almost starts off kind of Agatha Christie-ish, or like kind of like a traditional mystery, where we meet all these different characters, because there's all these different cowhands, and there's Tex, and there's Little Joe, and there's Big Joe, and there's Medium Joe.
I don't think the Joes were there.
I know, but
no, right. Tex, Shorty.
Yeah, Shorty. But the owner of the ranch is like, here's all these characters, but I trust all of them except for these two.
Right. There's something, yeah.
So it's like, well, here's all these suspects, but really, it's only going to be two people.
Right.
So I guess let's get into it with my segment.
Oh, yeah. The solution to the mystery.
Well, it's not just what it's called.
Oh,
it's
I'm sorry.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't remember.
It's called Drew Conclusions.
Oh, right.
How could you not remember?
I don't know.
That's everyone's favorite part.
I have my own segments, you know. I have food because we have to reference the food, and then I have what Drew can do, and I try to make note of that. So like knitting and baking a cake.
I understand.
Yeah, those are my important things. Drew Conclusions. Okay, sorry.
This is where 2 chapters in, I guess what the mystery is, if it hasn't been revealed already, and the answer to the mystery. And so I didn't do so good this time.
Oh, but okay. They've gotten a little bit more sneaky then.
Well, they didn't introduce any characters except for like the girls.
That's true.
So here's what I have. The horse will be painted with glow-in-the-dark paint.
Okay.
So it won't actually be a shadow horse or a ghost horse.
I mean, I can't believe that you would guess something like that.
It'd be great if it actually was a ghost horse. The land will be on top of a silver mine. The 2 plots are connected, the kidnapping plot and the ghost plot. Yeah. The people that kidnapped Alice Rogers' father brought him there to assess the silver.
Oh, that's interesting.
See, I was wrong about that. I would argue my plot makes more sense and is a little bit simpler.
But I think what you should have learned from maybe the last book is that when we revise these stories, we're not necessarily going for simple. Do you remember the last one where we got to a certain point and we said, we don't know what's happening anymore?
I think this one was a better mystery because there were actual clues laid out that were referenced later, like an actual mystery. Because before it'd be Nancy Drew would see a newspaper on the ground and she'd be like, that's a clue. Right,
exactly. No, and I like there is multiple mysteries going on. So there's a phantom horse, you know, and things happening at the ranch. There is a kidnapping or, you know, what's going on, somebody's missing. And then you're looking for a treasure at a certain point too, which also makes it kind of fun. And that part too lend itself well to the video game because that's kind of the culmination of like all this stuff and can you thwart the bad guys. So it did work well for that, and it makes it kind of intriguing if you're 10-year-old me.
I think I wanted to start off this one by just reading the first couple pages.
Okay. You texted me and said you were 2 pages in and you had a lot of questions.
Yes. Yeah. So it starts off like this. Here I am, girls, exclaimed Nancy Drew as she hugged her 2 best friends, which haven't been brought up before. No, Hannah, get out of here. These are my 2 best friends.
Helen, get out of here.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because Hannah's the housekeeper.
Yeah. Yes, right.
Because later she buys something for Hannah, and I was like, "Oh, this is for her friend."
No, it's
Hannah is Hannah's
the housekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Apparently, Bess and George are her best friends who have not been involved in the previous 4 mysteries. Yeah.
All set for an exciting vacation at Shadow Ranch. I hope you had a good flight, said Bess Marvin. The pretty, slightly plump blonde was not smiling as usual. Nancy wondered why. So, slightly plump.
That occurs throughout the series.
But
I mean, and it's constant. Like, they're always kind of teasing her. I'm going to put like teasing in air quotes, but like they'll always tease her about how much she eats. And when they say slightly plump, there are other books, I think, where they'll say she's constantly trying to lose that last 5 pounds or something. You know, this is probably a person who is not at all overweight.
At least in my book, there is a picture of all 3.
Oh.
Nancy Drew, Bess, and George.
Yes.
They're climbing down a ladder.
Too. Right. Which one is the plump one?
Exactly. There's no way to tell. There's no way to tell between the difference between Nancy and Bess.
No.
They look exactly the same.
Yeah.
So why even bring this up?
Because it's 1965 when we revised this. And apparently that is a focal point.
Anyway.
We will see that continued throughout the series.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Looking forward to that.
Just so you know.
We're glad to see you, remarked George Fane, an attractive tomboyish girl with short dark hair. And again, her hair is just slightly shorter and just darker.
Right.
But she's wearing the exact same outfit as the other 2.
Yes.
So is she tomboyish? Her hair is just different.
I mean, that's another plot device that they continue with. Like, Bess is more skittish and girly, and then George is more like tomboyish. They bring that up all the time.
Okay.
I don't know character wise. I guess we'll see if that
holds true.
Okay. She's willing to like get in there and do stuff.
Because I would argue Nancy's tomboyish if she's like
right
wrestling around with
exactly.
robbers.
Yes, yes. It's almost as if Nancy's like in their minds maybe a mix of the two. Like she can be refined.
Sure.
And I read something too when I was reading about Helen. I thought she disappeared completely, but I did read something that said she will show up again, but will slowly just be gone. She was maybe a little too timid. Like they felt like they needed 2 characters instead of 1 to be,
I see.
And then also they kind of did stuff to work on phasing her out, like her getting engaged.
Getting married, yeah.
You're married now. You can't be running around solving mysteries. I don't know. Just kind of an interesting choice, but I didn't find anything. I'm sure there is information that kind of speaks to like why specifically they went with these 2 characters.
It's weird that, because I was thinking about Helen. Helen's fiance was in Europe for forever. And now Ned Nickerson is in Europe for forever.
Yes.
It seems very like I have a girlfriend in Canada. Like I have a girlfriend 2 towns over.
Well, and we'll see this when we actually meet Ned. My memory is kind of like Ned is there when you need somebody to do something physical, move that thing for me, help me out with that thing. He's referred to as her special friend, which I don't remember if it changes to boyfriend at a certain point or if it's always special friend. He's kind of a little bit of a flat character, and I think it's just he's there to help out, but he's always cool with her just running off and solving mysteries.
So they're in Phoenix.
Yes.
Which is, I think, the first time we're in an actual place.
Yeah, other than River Heights. Right.
Nancy says, "Hey, why are you so glum, chums?" And they say, because there's a mystery at the ranch. Not there's a problem at the ranch. They say there's a mystery at the ranch. And so, Uncle Ed thinks that it's not safe and wants us to leave. We're going to have to leave unless you convince him otherwise.
Right.
They get off the plane and they immediately go to like a sandwich shop. And so Nancy says, "Save the mystery till I get back." So Nancy's always hungry too, which is fine, but we don't feel the need to comment on that.
Right. Well, that's the interesting thing because I think it is right away in here. They tease Bess for ordering a double fudge sundae.
Yes.
But that was the thing I thought was like, I don't know, they all seem to always be eating in these books. So why would you call out this specific character? I don't know.
But here's what I wrote down about the place. So
Yes.
Bess led Nancy to an attractive sandwich shop in the air terminal.
Well, I did think that was an interesting adjective to choose for a sandwich shop. Yeah.
They describe the sandwich shop more flatteringly than her friends.
I think I'm going to, next time I go to Jimmy John's, I'm going to call it that. Let's go to that attractive sandwich shop. Yeah.
Bess is really excited because there's handsome cowboys on the ranch.
That's another thing. Bess is a little more boy crazy, I guess.
Right.
If you're going to go with the term.
Nancy doesn't feel like as big of a character in this one. Like I usually write down like a quote from Nancy that's this kind of weird. A lot of times she'll just say yes. Or she'll just like one word.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Maybe that's because we've brought in
these other two
more characters. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they will like crack jokes around Nancy to each other, or but Nancy doesn't either comment on it or it's just around Nancy.
She's looking for clues. She doesn't have
too busy.
She doesn't have time for jokes.
So they're in the sandwich shop. There's someone in the booth next to them.
Yeah, there's like a guy watching them and seems shady.
Bess and George, they're cousins, right?
Correct.
And so they explain a little bit about what's happening. There's history at this ranch. There was a cowboy outlaw named Valentine.
Dirk Valentine.
And he was in love with Candace?
No.
Oh.
Not at all. Frances Humber.
Frances. I was close, Kelly.
Very close. Yes.
And
she's also the daughter of the local sheriff.
Yes. So he was gunned down. He was going to try to marry this girl, but he was gunned down and he put a curse on the land. Now, every once in a while, there's a ghost horse.
A phantom horse.
Yes. It's usually a whistle will usually come before it.
Right.
Then you see a ghost horse and then trouble follows behind.
Right. Some kind of destruction or problems on the ranch.
So Nancy is getting all this exposition. She sees that this guy is listening in. Even though we find out later that this guy knows all this information. So why did he have to
I don't
be
know.
so suspicious?
Maybe he thought they
had more clues. But they don't.
I don't know why they would. I don't know. But, well, you have to have your mysterious, shifty-eyed person appear right away.
Right.
I mean, we're talking 4 pages in, right?
Right. They chase him away.
Well, they see him by their car at a certain point. So they leave the sandwich shop, and then later they see him by their car, and he's dropping a note in their car.
Right.
Because apparently the window is down.
Right. And the note says, stay away from Shadow Ranch.
Yes.
They go to Shadow Ranch. They need 2 jugs of water because there's no air conditioning.
Oh, right. Because they got to drink it on the way
They got to drink it on the way. They're big gulps.
Well, they're driving across the desert.
Right. It's like an hour trip.
Yeah.
They get caught up in a sandstorm. They had to roll up the windows really quick.
Yes.
It's a very tense scene. And then what do they do, Kelly? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Nancy says, if I read the mileage right, we have about an hour's drive yet. She poured some water from the thermos onto her clean handkerchief and wiped her face and hands. George and Bess did the same. Then the girls combed their hair and put on fresh lipstick.
I don't know. I missed that. Well, you got to look good.
Right?
You might be stranded, but if somebody comes along, you got to look your best.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Before we move on, I just want to back up to a little bit of that backstory with the outlaw. So, he curses the place, but they did say that part of the ranch has been sold off over time.
Yes.
And
the new owners want it in debt. Like they got it was part of a debt.
Yes.
Which seems a little fishy.
It is an odd, here you go. They did make note that there are old cliff dwellings on the part that was sold off or owned by the state. And then they also, at the same time, Bess and George mentioned that their 14-year-old cousin, Alice Rieger, is staying at the ranch as well. And her father is missing. And he's been missing for 6 months. He was the president of a bank. His name is Ross Rieger. It was robbed, and he was last seen entering the bank that night.
So he was suspected as part of it.
He was suspected as part of the robbery. Alice doesn't believe it. She thinks the bank robbers are in the area of Shadow Ranch. I don't remember why she thinks that. There was something.
I don't remember why either.
But
But
everything always connects.
Of
So,
course.
yes. So that's why she's there.
they're stranded out in the desert. They have to pull off the radiator cap and it smokes everywhere. We've all seen movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to cool it down with this second jug of water, but second jug of water.
Empty.
They're stranded.
Somebody emptied it, right? Or
well,
did they forget
Shorty,
to fill it?
they found out that Shorty was supposed to give him 2 jugs of water.
Yes.
He only gave them 1, apparently.
Right.
And they
Making
couldn't
him
feel the difference. You would think that you'd be able to feel the difference, huh? One feels a lot heavier than the other. But I trust your word, you filled both of them.
Making Shorty immediately suspicious.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he is one of the ranch hands.
Yes, that's the cliffhanger. But shortly thereafter, they find another truck, and it's Dave. Dave comes with some water, gives it to the girls, and cools down their radiator.
Yes.
And he immediately leaves.
Yes. Dave is another ranch hand, and he is cranky, but also handsome. So confusing in the world of Nancy Drew.
Conflicting.
Yeah.
He's a complicated character.
He is. Right. He's not very happy to help them.
So yeah, Nancy is suspicious of this person that helped her, which is odd. But
Because
then
he's cranky. That's why.
Cranky.
Why? Yeah.
So then, yeah, they get to the ranch, and then we finally meet Alice, who's the daughter.
Right.
And Alice is like, hey, Nancy Drew, can you help me find my father?
Naturally. Yes.
Who's been missing for 6 months.
Yes.
I don't know what I would do in this situation. Like, I have nothing to go off of. Like,
I will do it.
Phoenix is a huge place, like where obviously the mystery of Shadow Ranch is at the ranch.
Right.
But who knows where, even if he isn't, this guy is in Phoenix.
Right.
Who knows where he is?
Right. Well, but it's Nancy Drew, so
Exactly.
she'll find him. Yeah.
But I thought this part was funny.
Yeah.
So Alice says, I wish you were going to work on my mystery. Nancy took the young girl's hand. Of course I will, she said kindly, and Alice's blue eyes lit up. Nancy told the Rowleys that she would like to get started with her sleuthing immediately. May I question your men about the Phantom Horse? So she completely forgets about this kid.
I will help you. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the horse.
Let me get to the real mystery.
Now, I do want to point out that when they got back, they did eat a meal.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, which is important. We ate, but then we got stranded and we need to eat again.
Right. They actually have a cook.
And the meal that they had was roast beef, beans, corn fritters, and salad, and then 2 apple pies. No mention of how much Bess ate. I don't know if this is before or after Alice asks her, and then Nancy agrees and completely dismisses her. But they did find some other things in Nancy's bag. So they're assuming that the guy at the attractive sandwich shop dropped them in her bag. A rattle from a snake.
Yes.
And a second note that says, second warning.
This didn't really need to happen at all. It doesn't play into the story at all.
No, but I mean, you always have to keep that suspense high.
Oh, sure.
Especially too, I don't know exactly where this happened, but if it's at the end of a chapter.
And then it's immediately resolved.
Right, exactly. Always, always.
So I think this is also where we meet all the extra characters. So we meet Walt Sanders, Shorty Steele. He's a husky middle-aged cowboy.
Husky is a sign. Yeah.
Tex Britton, Bud Moore, and Mrs. Thornmond is the cook.
Yeah.
And most of the characters won't matter. We also meet Dave Gregory officially. He's the
cranky,
handsome but cranky cowboy. The owner says, "Yeah, I trust everybody with my life except for Shorty and Dave."
And did he give a reason why? Is it just because they were new?
I think because they're new and they're out of state.
Okay.
I think is why.
Okay.
There's really only 2 suspects, and Dave is going to be eliminated as a suspect really quickly.
Right.
Because
he's handsome.
Well, because he's handsome, but also he helps out Nancy, and then he also says, "Hey, this is my deal. This is why I'm a little secretive."
Yes, and we'll learn that midway through the book, a little further on. But that first night, stuff starts happening right away. So there was an intruder that came in the kitchen. There is a trapdoor behind the stove. It leads to the cellar. And then Nancy's kind of like, where was everybody? Like questioning them.
And I think Dave was mysteriously out.
Yes. And he just says he was doing extra investigating, but he's really kind of mysterious about it. And I did write down a note here that says Nancy sass at a certain point. And I can't remember if she says this out loud or thinks it in her head. But I have in quotes, whatever that means. And I was like, whoa, Nancy.
Nancy convinces the owner that they can stay and she'll investigate. I think they go into town because I think it's George. She wants a cowboy kerchief.
Sure.
She would like to buy one cowboy kerchief, please.
Just one.
Your finest cowboy kerchief.
Dave does drive them to town, but he's crabby while he does it.
They're bebopping around just to different shops, and they go into a store. The owner is Mary Deer. She's Native American. They don't say Native American, but we'll just say Native American.
Right, that's fine, yes.
They're looking, and then the store gets robbed. It's in the process of getting robbed.
Yeah, there's something going on. Nancy stops a thief that's trying to steal,
And I think the robber has like a mask on, like...
He's really
like you would in a cartoon.
He's really well hidden from the crowd.
Well, I was going to say he has a cowboy kerchief on.
That's where George could have gotten the
exactly.
kerchief. Yes.
So
exactly.
she tackles this guy, doesn't stop him, but is able to wrangle what he stole. Mary Deer is very thankful. She gives Nancy a watch. Nancy's like, oh, I can't accept this. You could probably sell this. And she's like, oh, no, I can't sell this. This is in my exhibit case where all my precious stuff is. This is priceless, so I can't sell it. So I'm just going to give it to you.
She just went from like, oh, thank you, to like, here's my most valuable thing that I have.
And because it probably belonged to Valentine, she's like, oh, it belongs back on the ranch. Even though Nancy's just visiting. She's not like going to be there anytime soon.
No.
And later on, someone does want to buy the watch.
Right.
For bad purposes, but still someone does want to buy the watch. So it does have value.
Didn't that person try to buy it and she wouldn't sell it to him?
Oh, maybe.
So I don't understand then why you would just give it to this stranger, even though they helped you. I don't know. But it's Nancy, so. But the watch inside has a photo on one side, right?
Well, no.
No?
Because she opens up the watch and there's nothing inside it.
Okay.
But then, like, for no reason, there's like a little catch.
Okay.
And that's where the photos are.
Okay. It's like
there's a trap door inside a watch, Kelly.
Yes. If you want to keep your photo secret.
But why?
I'm picturing it like a locket. Like, but with a thing over. I don't know. Their love was forbidden.
I guess. No one's going to inspect this watch. Like, no one is going to be like, you better not have a photo of my daughter in your watch.
But then they do learn, Mary gives them a little more information about Dirk Valentine, that he left Frances a treasure, but nobody knows what it is.
Like usual, we might be skipping around just a little bit.
Probably.
The shadow horse comes finally during the night. Everyone tries to chase it. There's a lot of horseback riding on this.
Yes.
In this book. Love it. Loved every minute of it. But the dog tries to catch the horse.
Yes.
Isn't able to.
Correct.
Because the horse just kind of darts away at the last moment.
And something you should know is that Nancy is a skilled rider.
Oh, yes. Another thing that Drew can do. So then I think the dog goes missing at some point.
Yes. They go out to find him.
Back in town, they find this painting. It's a pastel painting. And Nancy just buys it because she likes it. She shows it to the ranch, and Alice is like, my father drew that.
Right. She's certain of it.
My father, who's a professional banker, is so skilled of an artist that he has a distinct style.
Apparently. Yeah.
That I would be able to see 6 months later.
Yes. A running theme in the book. They keep seeing different things that she's like, that's my father's.
And then so they say that the artist who drew these is up in this cabin somewhere, kind of close to the property. So we're going to go look for the father there. The dog goes missing around this time. And Nancy's like, we're going to find the dog there too. And everyone says, well, how do you know that? And she never says why.
She just knows.
I think I know where it is. We'll go there tomorrow. Maybe we'll find Chief too. That night, Alice came to the girl's room. She was puzzled. If the artist was her father, why was Chief with him? Because again, she made this really logical leap, and it doesn't really. They do find the dog.
They do find the dog there. Later, you'll find that he was being held there. They don't find him that time when they go there.
Mm-hmm. They're going up to this cabin wherever. Shorty is leading them, even though Shorty is suspicious, and we know that Shorty is a suspect.
We'll follow him anyway.
Yes, exactly. Shorty's like, hey, I know a shortcut. We can't go up this way. We have to go around. And Shorty gets lost. It's like, oh, we just got to go back to the ranch. But then they end up finally going there. And Shorty was either lying or didn't know that they could go up this way. Suspicious.
Yes.
Where do you want to go from there?
I was just looking at my notes. We have been jumping around. 'Cause now Nancy finds the secret compartment in the watch.
Yes.
In my notes. So this was a watch that I think he gave to Frances Humber. It's a photo of a handsome man with dark flowing hair. And then there was supposed to be another picture on the other side, but it's been torn out.
Yes.
But on the back of the picture that's in there, it says...
Green bottle?
Yes. It just has like a note about a green bottle.
We check in with the owner's wife. The owner's wife has been talking about the ranch house for a while. And the ranch house was built from stones in and around the ranch, because it's going to be important later. This fireplace is made of a whole bunch of different stones. One of her hobbies is also collecting bottles.
Right. Well, because green bottle.
But I mean, she, I guess, collects antique bottles. My wife has some antique Coke bottles, but, you know, like from here, you know, the 2020s to the 1930s, I think is a bigger leap than from the 1960s to like the 1900s. I don't know why you would kind of
start collecting bottles from the 1900s.
Yeah. I think it seems a little bit, because I don't think the technology has changed that differently.
Well, go find yourself a Diet Coke can from 1995 and put it up on your shelf.
Ooh, new Coke. Ooh.
Exactly. Actually, that's probably,
that probably
worth,
is worth something.
Yeah, especially if it's full.
All right, I take it back.
Okay. Yes.
Abby really likes the new bubbly, and they have special Mario flavor. And so,
what does that taste like?
It's like dragon fruit, Starburst, something.
Oh.
And so we have been stockpiling that.
Listen, you never know when they're going to take it
away.
And so you have to be ready.
Right.
I feel like that when I go to Costco and there's like a specific thing that they only get seasonally. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy as much of this as possible and make it last the whole year.
Anyway.
All right. So where were we?
I don't know.
You know.
So they're looking for green bottles.
Yes.
They see one that looks a little suspicious. Nancy gets like a screwdriver almost, and she's like, maybe there's something in this bottle. And she tries to dig into this bottle. But I was thinking, Nancy, it's a bottle. You can look through it. Why can't you just look through it? But anyway, there's nothing in this bottle. They later find out that in the kitchen, the suspicious bottle that they were looking at is missing. So someone saw their notes.
Exactly. Somebody else was paying attention. Right.
Whoever is the ghost horse is also the bottle thief.
Yes. I'm trying to remember where we are. So I have other like mysterious things happening. Somebody locks Nancy in the tack room.
Yes.
She gets out through a window.
She gets out really fast.
And then sees a light in the spring house, but nobody is there. And how did they get out? There must be a secret exit.
Yeah, the light will be important later. Good call.
But then in the spring house, she does find a fake bottom to the vat in the spring house, but she can't investigate because Shorty walks in at that same time. Randomly in the middle of all this like mysteriousness, we find out there's a square dance and a barbecue in town.
But really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think they have dinner. Right before this, they have dinner. Yeah. Foreman Sanders says, 2 of the men will be working on the pump most of the day. It hasn't been right since some of the damage was done. Before the meal was over, Nancy asked with a smile, who locked me in the tack room last night by mistake? There was silence in the kitchen. Nancy learned nothing.
She's just looking around and everybody's like, I don't know what she's talking about.
But I just love these awkward accusations.
Whose eyes are the shiftiest?
And so, yeah, this is where then Dave,
Yes.
who we don't know is good. Like, we don't know his motives yet.
Right. He's been pretty crabby up to this point. There is a point here that he apologizes for being a jerk, but he doesn't say why he's been a jerk. But we find out there's going to be a square dance and barbecue in town. And then Dave asks Nancy to go with him, which is an odd choice for somebody who's been so crabby.
But it's going to be a triple date.
Yes.
Because Bess and George are going to go too.
Yes, they're going with Tex and Bud.
And then so from there...
There's a lot of like going back and forth to different, they get on their horses, they go up the mountain, they go into town, they come back. So like I do have notes about them going back into town.
Right. So they go back into town and just to check on Mary Dear. I don't remember why, but they see someone, Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
And Mr. Diamond wants to buy the watch first from Mary Dear and then from Nancy, like, hey, can you sell me that watch that you got? Because I'm just really interested in the history of the place, even though I'm from out of state. And then Nancy is like, hey, is this character bad? And of course, the answer is...
Obviously. But then they do go back to the ranch, and at this point, I think she goes back to investigate that spring house. This, I wrote this down. This is so odd and creepy. In the dark of the cellar, Nancy hears breathing. She turns on her flashlight, and they see Dave crouched in a corner. What?
Like it's Blair Witch.
I was like, wait a minute. What now?
And then, so yeah, this is where we learn what Dave is up to. So Dave is related to...
Frances Humber.
Frances, yes, thank you. Because you had me second guessing because you shamed me into not knowing her name.
What did you say before?
Candace.
Frances, Candace, So he's a descendant of her. He's digging for treasure because he knew about the treasure.
He has the other half of the photo, and it says in the basement. So green bottle in the basement, which is the full message.
Right.
And so we instantly trust Dave now.
He's nice now. It's okay. I'll go to the dance with you.
But not only that, like, we'll help you look for it now.
Right.
And so they're digging in the basement. They don't see anything. Oh, they find a bottle, but it's just a bottle.
Correct.
They give up on the search for that.
They do end up finding a lamp that has a green bottle inside of it.
Oh, yes.
So they find a lamp. I don't remember where the lamp was, to be honest with you. And then there's a green bottle inside of that. And then inside of that, there's a rolled up piece of paper.
Right.
And it's a letter from Valentine to Frances. The long dead romance came alive for them as Nancy read aloud. My dear girl, I am writing this in haste to tell you that I truly love you. Would that we could marry, but the law pursues me, and I doubt that I will live much longer. Too late. I am sorry for my misspent life. I want you to have my fortune, the note continued, but many people are seeking it. I know my mail is seized. I have hidden instructions in this bottle. A little of my booty has been converted to gold and melted down into special pieces, dear Frances, made just for you.
It's hearts later, right?
Yes.
I think, yeah.
It is hearts, which I thought was an odd choice. And then they do get interrupted in the middle of the reading. The last part of the letter says that the treasure is hidden in the oldest, did they say building or like dwelling?
Yeah, oldest building or dwelling on the property.
Correct.
They would think it's this basement. So that's very confusing to them.
But in the middle of reading this, that's when like stuff starts happening again. Right? I think the lights go out.
Yes.
They find that the telephone lines have been cut.
At some point, they think they hear Chief, the dog, outside. They're searching around. They don't know where the sound is coming from.
All the other horses get away because the fence has been cut. Like there's all kinds of stuff going on. Dave decides he should tell the Rawleys what he's been doing. At a certain point, Alice... When Dave gets out of earshot, Alice says, as for you, Nancy, he's really flipped. Like he really likes her.
Oh, okay.
And then George says, and what'll poor Ned do, George teased. That was the thing you were talking about.
Yeah, I do have that part.
Yes.
Oh, I do have that. As for you, Nancy, he's really flipped. I thought that meant like he's flipped on your, because he thought that she was just a city slicker, but now...
I think it just means he's really into you.
I didn't take it that way. I took it more as... Because Dave just thought that she was just a city slicker and didn't really know anything. But he's been complimenting her throughout the book. But like, hey, you really know your way around a horse. And,
yeah.
And you really know how the tumbleweed tumbles or something dumb like that.
You really know how to make a cake. That's later. I don't know. I'm not
I think he's really flipped on how he perceives you. But that's how
that could be. I just took it in my head like he really likes you.
Yeah, maybe.
That's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, because then it is immediately followed it up with, what will poor Ned do? And for me, that was very confusing because Ned wasn't, this is the first mention of Ned in
that
my
would be very confusing.
readings ever.
Who is that?
Exactly.
Right, exactly. They have to get ready for the barbecue.
Yes. Okay. So they decide to blow up some steam, go into Phoenix.
So they go into town. They're going to do some shopping for what to wear.
Right.
And this is where you noted some of like maybe the inappropriate, no longer, I don't know how to describe it.
Sure. So I have this section right here. Nancy spoke up. Let's do some shopping in Phoenix. I'd like to find something special to wear tomorrow. I know, exclaimed Bess. Let's all buy Indian costumes.
Right. And then it does say later something about colorful squaw dresses.
Yes. So it wasn't like when we think of costumes, we think of like
a costume at Halloween.
Yes.
This is just more they're going to dress in traditional native clothing.
So yeah, the way it was phrased was awful, but it turns out it's just they just want to find dresses with like certain like traditional pattern.
Yeah. Maybe
still not the best because maybe are you appropriating?
Yeah.
And saying squad dresses is obviously not good either. But.
Yeah. To be expected for this era, I guess,
sure.
Unfortunately, but it is there. So.
But the fact that they, rewrote a lot of these books to take out the racism, that they didn't, take out all of it.
Well, what's interesting, I mean, in the original, that doesn't happen. So they added it in
in
this case.
Wow. Okay,
but in their mind, probably in 1965, that isn't racist, right?
Oh, sure.
So they're trying to add in an element, although I don't know why you needed to add the element in. But in any case. But then also while they're in town, they eat again.
Yes. So I wrote this down too. So here they ate a delicious lunch of tacos and spicy chili.
And I have written down that tacos is in italics.
Yes.
I don't know why it's in italics.
Probably because it's a foreign word. Tacos?
Yes. But then they also had iced fresh fruit for dessert.
Best side. That was super. I love that they keep using
I know, food. Yeah, they love instead of yum.
So here's the dresses that they picked. Nancy chose a turquoise blue model with silver rickrack trimming. George's choice was a bold red, which set off her short dark hair. And Bess selected one with a yellow skirt and black bodice. Alice has one too. Picked out a pumpkin-colored costume trimmed in black.
And then before they leave town, they find
a crayon.
Right, a pastel.
They just find a crayon out of the...
And Alice, of course, is like, this is my father's.
Right, I'd know this crayon anywhere.
Right. A little bit of a stretch, but she's very
So
insistent.
he's obviously in the area.
And then I do have a note that this is where they stop to make a cake.
Yes.
I assume they go back. They must go back to the ranch and then make the cake. And Nancy is very good at making cake.
And of course, Bess wants an extra big cake. I noted that down.
Okay, so when the cake was cool enough, she covered it with thick, creamy swirls of dark chocolate and studded the top with whole walnuts. Bess sighed, it's too bad we can't have just a teeny piece now, isn't it? Because I think they were taking it to the barbecue.
Yes.
And then, I sure could go for a slab, Tex agreed hungrily. Come on, Cookie, Dave coaxed Nancy. I was like, what? And then I wrote, creepy. Come on, Cookie. He goes from... I'm crabby and I hate you to calling her Cookie.
But then Nancy says,
what?
Graham crackers and milk tonight. You'll get your cake tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Do you know the origins of graham crackers?
No.
Originally baked as a bland, unsweetened health food that was designed as a part of a strict vegetarian diet, including to curb sinful desires and promote moral purity.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, like, a graham cracker would do all that for
you. There's a rodeo. You would think that, hey, this wasn't explained at all in the barbecue / square dance of it all.
Part of it.
But yeah, it's like a separate thing. So they go to the rodeo and Dave does like rope tricks and everybody does something. All the boys, of course, do something. Shorty's does some rodeo and is able to stay on for the longest or whatever. This is where she sees the guy from the airport. And we met him a second time, Mr. Grimley.
Does she call him Mr. Bursey?
Bursey, yeah. I'm trying my best here, Kelly.
I'm like, Grimley.
It looks a lot like the bank father from Far Away. But yeah, she tries to follow him. Him and Mr. Diamond try to corner her, but Bess and George are active for once, and they stop her getting kidnapped, basically. They try to follow him. So around this time, she finds out that how they're able to do the ghost horse trick. But before that, we have to have our square dance.
Well, right. That's very important. Yes.
Am I missing anything? Or
you know what? I feel like my notes at this point get a little bit choppy. The way these books work, it's so like, it feels fast paced, but sometimes nothing's actually happening.
Right. And a lot of times the details can it doesn't really matter where they happen.
No. They talk about Mr. Bursey. They think he's holding Alice's father prisoner. Nancy has figured out how the horse glows, but she's got to do some other stuff first. I guess that is about where I do have another food reference. So they must have sat down to eat somewhere in here.
Well, they eat at the barbecue.
Maybe that's what it is. That's what they're eating at the barbecue. So they must go to the barbecue at this point. They eat. I have that they're eating steaming meat.
Yes.
Spicy relish, potato salad, ice cream, chocolate cake.
The chocolate cake that Nancy made.
Absolutely. Yes. And there is a note also in here where George says, eating is really a very fattening hobby, dear cousin.
Oh, yes, because
she wanted a hot dog?
Yeah, Bess is like, I'm kind of hot, so I would like a soda to cool down, and then while I'm at it, I'll have a hot dog too. And then, George says, eating is a fattening hobby. Yikes.
Yeah.
I guess, I'm not surprised, but
that
still
just
like...
continues throughout.
Yeah, it's yikes.
Yeah, it is.
So they're having the barbecue. They're describing the food like they always do. But then I think it's Tex gets up and he starts singing, and they're describing the songs that he's singing to.
Oh.
It's like a full set list of what he's singing for no reason.
See, I probably by this point got a little glazed over.
So it was Bud, I'm sorry. So Bud played I'm a Lonesome Cowboy, and everyone joined in enthusiastically. He followed with a number of old favorites. Finally, he strummed some Gold Rush songs, including Sweet Betsy from Pike. It's like, why? Why? You could just say someone sang.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then we finally do the square dancing. I don't know if this is how it actually works. It's competitive square dancing.
I don't know how competitive square dancing would work.
Right. But
the last time I probably did square dancing was in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So it's the three girls plus Alice is there. And Alice also has a date who's 15. So
some kid they found.
Some kid they found. They're doing their do-si-do. And then Shorty is staring at them the whole time. And there's a great photo, or there's a great drawing of it. Because for no reason, as part of the entertainment, Shorty is doing impressions. Yes,
he does imitations
of animals. So he does a coyote and things like that. And then all of a sudden he stares at Nancy and he just instantly stops.
Because he realizes.
He stops mid-act.
I've given myself away.
Right, because he was pretending to be the dog.
Correct.
To lure everybody out so he could do mischief.
Yes.
And search for the treasure.
Correct.
There's this great picture of them, and they're all in their dresses.
Yep.
And they're all just happy, except for Shorty. He's just glowering at him.
Staring him down.
How dare you ruin my set, my tight 15 on animal sounds.
But of course they do win this competition.
Yes, and what's the prize?
An ice-cooled watermelon.
Yes. And then so the sheriff comes along, and the sheriff's like, hey, I've been looking for all these people. Nancy, what's the plan? What's your plan?
As per usual.
And then so Nancy's really, really quietly tells them the plan. And I really love this part because Dave is like, I'll start slicing up the watermelon. Because Dave is like, we won't be too far away. We'll make sure that the girls are protected. I'm going to start slicing up this watermelon.
Yes. So Nancy has a plan to find the treasure, capture the bad guys, all in one go.
Right. So part of the plan is
she knows how the horse.
Yes. So as part of the plan, she gets up and says, "Hey, everybody! Thanks for this watermelon. By the way, we think we found Valentine's treasure. We think it's on the Shadow Ranch."
There's going to be a hunting party that goes out on, I don't know, tomorrow at this time or whatever.
Right,
The idea is that the cowboys who go out to do what she announced will be decoys.
So from here, then Nancy starts kind of explaining some of the clues that were pre-established. The horse was painted, and it made it look like ghost.
Well, it was wearing a cloth that was painted.
Oh, okay.
The horse itself wasn't painted, so no animals were harmed.
Okay.
During the making of
it was like a glow-in-the-dark fabric.
Yes.
And that's why the light was on, so that it would kind of, you know how glow-in-the-dark works.
Yes. They give a big, long explanation about how glow-in-the-dark things work.
But then we also realize that the treasure probably came from this Native American dwellings.
In the cliff dwellings.
The cliff dwellings. Because again, we're talking about the oldest structure. So Nancy sees the fireplace, and there's a very special stone that was probably taken from the cliff dwellings.
Yeah.
That probably belongs either in a museum or probably with a tribe somewhere. But whatever.
Right.
And so she realizes, the oldest dwellings are these cliff. It's it's not this ranch. It's the cliff dwellings. Which you probably just could have figured out anyway.
Yeah, probably. But it was an interesting, because it's not technically part of the ranch anymore,
right.
but it was.
Sure.
That's the, I don't know.
But anyway, I did because this felt more like Sherlock Holmes mystery of here are some clues that are actually going to tie in to the...
Right.
And if you're a savvy reader, maybe you'll get it. Or maybe it's just too coincidental. Maybe you're probably just going to gloss over it.
Right.
But... Sherlock Holmes asking we are actually establishing mystery.
Right. It's not just here's the solution, but there was nothing to tie it. How did you get there? Yeah. So the next day they head out. There's the decoy party that goes out to where she said they're headed. And then the girls take a different trail to try to get to the cliff dwellings. But on the way, they stop at the cabin. And then they find a hidden trail behind the cabin that leads them to a black stallion.
Yes, and this is the ghost horse.
Yeah, and they find the cloth, because I'm like, why do I have written down Japanese silk? That's the cloth that went over the horse. They find Alice's father.
Yes. I really thought that Alice's father would play more into the mystery, because why would you bring him to this... For 6 months. They had him captured for 6 months.
Right.
And to pass the time,
yeah,
he was just making paintings, Kelly.
Right. Yeah. That is a good question. I think maybe what's happening is that they tried to tie in something that was in the original.
Oh, I see.
So I don't know that there was a need to keep it there.
And so these kidnappers are so evil that they sold the paintings and kept all the money themselves.
Exactly.
Just to show how evil they are.
Yes. And then they find out that the money from the bank robbery has been hidden in, there's a ghost town nearby that it was hidden in. And the gang is Shorty, Bercy.
Right. And Mr.
Diamond. Because they happen to be in town anyway, hiding with their kidnapped victim, hiding the bank money. They heard about the treasure and decided, let's go for broke.
Right. So then they get to the cliff dwellings. We don't necessarily have to get into all the details, but it was kind of cool because they find it, but then they're captured by the gang. I think Mr. Diamond says he'll hand it over, and Nancy chucks it off the cliff, and she says, "Go get it."
Or at least you think she did.
Right.
Yes.
Who goes down to go get it? These three. And then Nancy's kind of sowing discord because Shorty's supposed to stay with them. And Nancy's like, well, Shorty, you have to do everything because you're the one who tipped the windmill and you're the one that sabotaged the well. And then so it was actually kind of a good way to explain the mystery, because then all three of them start like complaining like, well, I had to do this and I had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot less clunky than it usually is. Mm-hmm. So I actually kind of like that part. So I think eventually, like, I think Mr. Diamond stays with them, or it doesn't really matter. Some woman stays with them. Mm-hmm. He's like, look here, what I gotta do is I'm just gonna grab some dynamite and I'm just gonna blow up the lot of you.
And then Nancy's like, no, wait.
Right.
If you do that, you're going to blow up the treasure too, because I didn't actually throw it off the cliff. It was just, what was it, a rock or something?
Yeah, yeah. And they were sitting on it or something.
Yeah.
So eventually the sheriff and Dave and everybody comes by, saves the day. Nancy didn't actually get like a
There was no gift that she got this time, and I think
but she did get...
Yeah.
Oh, well, she got something.
Well, she got that watch.
Well, she did get a watch. So I guess that is, she got a gift that way. So Dave says, I know the gold must be turned over to the state, but the jewels and banknotes should be worth a good sum. Nancy, since you found them, I feel a share rightfully belongs to you. So she got a gift kind of in that way.
Yeah. But did she keep it?
It doesn't say, because the book like instantly ends. It's very weird.
That's okay. She was already dreaming of her next mystery.
Right. The mystery at the Red Gate Farm.
The secret at Red Gate Farm, yeah.
But my book ends... George knew that Nancy and Mystery were never far apart. She gave a sigh of mock sadness. I hope your dad doesn't need that sweater very soon.
Mine says, after she gave the sigh of mock sadness, mine says, poor Ned. I hope he doesn't need that sweater very soon.
That's very interesting.
Yes, but the gold was shaped into small gold hearts,
right,
which I thought was an odd thing to do. Why not just coins? I don't know.
But you read the original as well.
I did read the original as well. And the original, there is no treasure. There's no Dirk Valentine. The title is different.
Is it?
It's not The Secret of Shadow Ranch. It's The Secret at Shadow Ranch.
Huge difference.
Big difference. Very big. But in this story, you still do meet Bess Marvin and George Fane. At the very beginning of the book, they call Bess Elizabeth. And I think from what I've read, that's the last time she was ever called Elizabeth. Oh, okay. So again, it's their aunt and uncle who recently acquired the ranch. The uncle's not there. It's the aunt who goes, but she hates the country. So she invites them along to amuse her.
Okay.
And then Alice also goes. And she's, like 14 or whatever. Her father disappeared, but it was like years ago. He just vanished. Okay. Huh. On the way to Shadow Ranch, they're taking a train there because this is the 30s, not the 60s. Nancy meets a man on the train named Ross Rogers. He lives in town nearby. She thinks he's really interesting. So it's kind of like, okay, a little foreshadowing there. There is no Dave, Tex, Shorty. All the ranch hands are kind of like, except for the foreman and the cook who are married, like everybody's kind of just a background player. So basically in this book, I feel like they do so much we're just going to go for a ride. And I was like, partway through, I thought, what is the mystery here? Like, it really took a long time. I felt like we transitioned from like books where like it's immediately apparent what the mystery is to all of a sudden I'm just reading like a book that's supposed to be kind of like a Western or something. It was really interesting. But then at a certain point they do, when they're going up into the mountains, they get caught in a storm. They shelter with an old woman, Martha Frank, and she has a girl with her named Lucy. She keeps the girl locked up. They're not related. But apparently nobody has ever questioned any of this. And I thought, well, that's really odd. In town, they see the old lady arguing with a junk man named Zany Shaw. And at one point, when they go for a ride, Nancy takes her revolver because she's still got the revolver. And then
it fits better with this Western, I guess.
That's true. And she shoots a lynx. Because, was about to attack them or something. They do find out that Martha beats Lucy.
Oh, geez.
It's really kind of dark, I thought. And then there's also the mysterious thing about Mr. Rogers. He just seems very, like, they'll see him sometimes and he seems confused or out of it.
Okay.
The mystery is about Lucy, basically. She was kidnapped by Zany and Martha, their brother and sister. I don't remember why she was kidnapped. I'm going to be honest
Sure.
with you. Mr. Rogers is actually Ross Rieger, Alice's father, and he has amnesia. So he's just been like wandering the country for years.
For years.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it was like, oh my gosh, my daughter. It was bizarre.
It sounds bad.
It was really, I was like, I was just like, well, I can see why they changed a lot here. I do think it's interesting that they kept the story of Alice and her father, making it like a shorter time frame.
Well, it makes more sense.
And the kidnapping, it was not, I didn't like it very much. So that's why I think I've told you, like, I felt like with this story, it was like, okay, there was stuff going on. There's this phantom horse. Like you said, it all kind of came together at the end. So I did think they did a decent job with the revision. I wouldn't say the original was great. And some of that storyline, I was like, oh, like a kidnapped, abused young girl. Like, this is kind of like, it's not something you would give to a 10-year-old now, you know. Right. But that was, in a nutshell, that was the original.
Well, this seems like an upgrade from the original.
Yeah.
I think this one's good. I think it's for mystery. It's good.
Yeah. I
didn't think it was fun as much.
Yeah. No, I mean, the last one had a submarine. So, no, I mean, I liked it. And also, too, I think, like you said, like there was a lot going on and you could kind of follow along. But there was stuff that was like, okay, like at a certain point, you're just kind of going back and forth.
Right.
Riding up here and then coming back here. And
this might be one of our longer ones, too. And I don't think it needed to be. I think it could have been shorter.
Yeah. I don't know how many pages this is. So I had learned that all of the original text is a 25-page or 25-chapter book, and all of the revised texts are 20 chapters. Okay. So that's how you can, one of the ways you can tell the difference between a revised and an original.
I think they could have shortened this down even more, is what I'm trying to say.
Agreed. Well, and the stories usually are pretty simplistic, so probably most of them could be. But
so yeah, I thought this was fun. I didn't think, Nancy doesn't feel as much of a character in this one. Yeah. She just feels like a force almost. Like she just moves from situation to situation, but she doesn't really think things or feel things or, and she does stuff, but she doesn't.
Well, and I'm curious if that is the addition of the two other characters.
Yeah.
And if
they have more personality.
See that going forward. Like I said, I know they'll be pretty much like they're there going forward, and we may see Helen a little bit, but not as much in those first 4 books. So it'll be interesting to see if that, what you're thinking about, like her as like a character, continues or if it changes. I do have a recipe for you from Nancy Drew Cookbook. This is the Shadow Ranch barbecued beans.
Well, that makes more sense. This one actually makes sense.
It does. And it goes, well with that, with your square dance barbecue, whatever.
Your watermelon.
Yes. So you need 2 cans of pork and beans.
Well, so I think that's, can't you just stop there?
No, you cannot. 1 large onion, 2 sticks of margarine.
Butter and beans?
1 tablespoon dry mustard, 1/4 cup sugar, 3/4 cup dark brown sugar. Now I'm kind of thinking, okay, your can of pork and beans might not be like your Bush's baked beans that already has all the sugar and stuff in it. I think we're just talking straight pork and beans, no sweetener. 1/4 cup catsup.
Yeah, so ketchup and brown sugar. That's usually like your base for almost all barbecue sauce. 1
tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, and then salt and pepper. And then you heat the oven only to 300. So this is a slow bake.
You want your beans. You want your beans rare, is what you want.
Yes. Well, and the margarine, I think, is to really cook down the onions. Although I don't know why you need 2 sticks. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Right?
For just 2 cans. You would think like it'd be like for like a whole, even a full crock pot, I'd be like maybe a half a stick.
Right. Well, and the sticks are 8 ounces. Yeah, that's a standard. And you're melting it in a saucepan and then greasing the bottom and sides of a baking dish. You put everything in the baking dish.
Why are there more instructions? This is just beans and butter.
Well, I'm really confused about, are you just, oh yeah, so you put everything into a baking dish and mix it and then sprinkle it with salt and pepper, cover it, bake it for 2 hours.
Oof.
And then serve it with applesauce, hot or cold. Gross. I don't know that I'll be making that anytime soon, but maybe someday you'll arrive and I'll be like, I made the recipe.
We should make a thing for each other.
Yeah,
at some point.
feel like we got to find, but I'm looking forward to the next one.
Well, yeah, thanks for tuning in today, everybody. So yeah, our next book will be The Secret of Red Gate Farm. Have you read that one, I take it?
I'm sure I have.
Okay.
I mean, I'm positive that I probably read all of the original hardcover, probably the revised edition, at some point in my young life.
You're right.
It doesn't mean I remember the plot. But
Fair enough. But until then, I'm Peter, I'm a librarian.
I'm Kelly, I'm a librarian.
And this has been the Drew Crew. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeehaw!
Oh my gosh.